It's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our space heaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Washington football team. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. Because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big time game.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Second down and another run with Edmonds.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
3rd and long always tilts to the defense. And I just remember as a player how many times it was hammered into my head. Know where the sticks are and get him down in front of it. But sometimes what happens is you worry about where that is much more than the person who has the ball. And on that play, they didn't have enough focus on him. And somehow he turned a short pass into a first down.
And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up.
This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
And he has 10 touchdowns on the season. When anyone scored that many times, as a former defender, I know exactly what you're talking about before the game. Key on him. Don't let him get in the end zone today, guys. Let's keep him out of there.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And they'll run here with Gibson. Room here to run. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
1st down, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play there on the catch and run.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Mayfield. The quick slant caught. That'll bring out 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating there.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson with his 16th touchdown of the year. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, this Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Mahomes now to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. Flushed out right. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Mayfield now from the 50. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. A gain of 6 there on first. 2nd and 4. A carry for Gibson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They're going to run this with a tight end, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A give to Gibson running right. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now here's Mahomes. They'll go out to the flat for Edmonds. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Chiefs bring on their field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession, and he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Play fake, Mayfield. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 3rd down, Gibson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now Mayfield. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. On 2nd down, Mayfield again. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. That's Samuel, caught left side, and able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Mayfield on 1st down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. From the red zone now, Mayfield. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll try to run with Gibson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And Washington has retaken the lead. Slide for the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And now here comes Kansas City. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. On first down, Mahomes gets this one to Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll swing that out to Edmonds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Deron Payne in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And from here, might not be able to take a knee. Might need to run a play here this close to their goal line. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. So we are at halftime here on Christmas. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
On third down, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a two-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense him saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Chase Young in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. But when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Powering forward, complete, the tight end Kelsey. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This is taken at the 18. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On 2nd down now, it's Gibson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 51 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing, Mayfield, rolling to his right. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And down to the 20. A Huge play there for Washington. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing a shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
From the 17, Mayfield. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson from 17 yards out. And Washington going to add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded right at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. KC's offense ready to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move,
and the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Flush to his right. Now Mayfield lost the football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it down.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Kansas City's offense now set ready to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run with Edmonds again. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He's going to let this one go deep. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. The Washington offense set to take over again. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Gibson again. They juked him, and he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 79 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. A handoff for Gibson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jabari Zuniga with a stop. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time to make sure you get in shape. Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll run on 1st down. Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now he's flushed out left, and he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field and brings up 3rd down. Washington on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Eluding the pressure right. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Deron Payne, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Mahomes firing complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 44, Mahomes throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robinson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Shoves him aside. And down to the 11. A big play there for KC. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs have made it a 1-score game again. Here in the 4th. Butker on for the PAT. And the lead will shrink to 6. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Take it in at the 3. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this concern.
Now Mayfield lost the football, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. The fumble on first down. Now here's 2nd down. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. 89 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here's Gibson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. And that's going to be incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Here's Mayfield. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down 23-17. Just over a minute 40 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Mahomes to throw it. This is Robinson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Mahomes. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down now, but that clock rolling. Mahomes. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
This is caught, and he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the fourth quarter. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now it's Washington's turn, trailing by a point, a little under 40 seconds to go. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Here's Baker. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Now Mayfield. He'll buy some time right. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Mayfield. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So it's not quite over yet, but you have to figure they pretty well got this one on ice now.
And Brandon, I'm trying to figure out how they remain so calm in these situations and then go out and execute, because I'm up here shaking like a leaf, and I wasn't the one who had to make that kick.
They look calm, but I bet if you had a heart rate monitor on them, they'd be up in the 300s right now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
See if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Washington, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to